Dollar ownership will drop and gold and silver ownership will rally. That's how it happens. This market will be so much higher over the next 5 years. I know people are always blowing that smoke up your ass. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow's here.
Welcome to Vince Lanci's latest video presentation. In the world of precious metals, today, we embark on a journey to uncover the intricate chess game between financial institutions and commodity trading advisors, CTAs, that fueled this surge. While geopolitical concerns in the Middle East undoubtedly played a role, Vince Lanci will dissect the true architects of this market movement, revealing the who and why behind the buying and selling. If you're eager to kickstart your trading week with fresh insights into the gold and silver markets, look no further. Join us now to gain a deeper understanding of what's propelling these precious metals.
We have 3 topics to talk about that I want to touch on. Silver's path to Friday, a little recap of Friday and what led to it. A setup for buy season, sell season is over, and a quick Israel-Hamas war update. Geopolitical comments as told to me from someone in the region. I should say someone in the Far East who has his eye on the Middle East, a geopolitical person. Anyway, let's get going. All right, on the left, you see the agenda for today. On the right, you see the markets. We want to start with silver and what led up to Friday's behavior. Not a big background, but let's just start with a summary, right? You have to start with a summary before you get into your stories. 3 weeks ago, CTAs, small speculative funds, people that don't have a lot of money, are over leveraged and they trade like hot potatoes. They make money sometimes. They decided that they were going to sell silver. And they sold silver. Remember that day with the long wick? That's when it started. Now, they didn't sell it that day. They sold it this day. And they kept selling it all the way down. And they actually sold it on this first down day, this first lower green candle, first big green candle down there. And although I can't prove it yet, I'd be pretty confident in saying that that was them covering on Friday. Where do we go from here is obviously the next part of that, which will dovetail into sell season being over. All right. First things first, to make sense of what happens. Make this a little bit bigger, stretch it out a little for you. All right. When we ran into this a couple weeks ago, right, this was a very disappointing candle. I believe I have said, at least I probably didn't say it here because I don't want to get shot. I said I'd be very worried that we'd go lower after that. And I didn't, don't get me wrong, I wasn't short, but that kind of sucked. All right. But when it went lower, I saw that CTAs and smaller speculative momentum type funds, FOMO, bearish FOMO, was getting into the market. And I said, okay, that's good. This is good timing for the coming buy season. So if we can just hold on to their shorts for another month or so, month and a half ideally, then we should have some really nice boosters or rocket fuel going into December. Boom, to the sky, right? Well, these guys couldn't hold on to it for 2 weeks. There's the first week, there's the second week, and here's the third week. First week, second week, a little bit of a bounce. Third week, rocket ship higher. So the good news is the behavioral pattern is the same. We're in sell season. And during sell season, the bigger players, the long macro funds, the people that say I'm an investor in silver and they buy it or they sell something that they're already long, to reduce their exposure, those people are out. They're out. They're I'm not saying they're flat. I'm just saying they don't have any new customer money coming in. They're not looking to buy a dip right now. And so because of that, market moves can get exaggerated. It's very much like a thinly traded market. Now, the banks are watching everything, and the banks know that the customer business, the bigger customer business, the more important, got silver, is on the sidelines, waiting, allocating, getting their end of the year stuff. They do it this early. So the banks are saying, well, if I don't have my big business flowing, let's have some fun with the little guys. I kid you not. That's how it works. And so while they don't, I'm not while they don't initiate attacks, they don't sell the funds up a river, but they do give them a free paddle. And that's how the banks operate. Yeah, we're not telling you to go up that river, but if you do, this is a really good paddle to use. Have fun, and then they go off. Anyway, so the CTAs piled in, and the CTAs piled out. Now, I'm not 100% sure, and I'll tell you why that's important in a second, because I got a little bit of an education this weekend. Anyway, I don't want to get too long into it. Just put it this way. Let's pull a chart up. Okay, this was the situation going into Friday. The dark green line is the market, and the green histogram or shaded in area is the open interest of small speculative funds, aka CTAs. Now, they will play short from time to time, but I'll give you a cursory analysis. See that red rectangle? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That rarely happens. I don't know what caused it. You don't know what caused it. No one knows what caused it, but they got short very quickly, very bigly. They've been short before. They can be short down here. They can be short. I mean, they've been shorter than this. Don't get me wrong. But to have it be that steep of a decline, that's goofy. I don't know what the reason was, but it happened. Who knows what the reason was? Anyway, and if you look at it without my perspective, you'd say, okay, this is very short. And look at where the market is. All right. Range versus trend. The market broke out of a range. Right, here's your range. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Broke out. CTAs got in. They saw trend. They FOMO'd it. They sold it. Now we're back in the range. Okay. Are you hopeful that it's going higher? Of course you are. Of course I am. Do I think it's going higher? Normally I would say yes. This time of year, I would say, not this time of year, any other time of year, I would say yes. This time of year, I don't know. And I don't know because all that fresh money that I'm talking about, they're still watching. They're still waiting. They're not going to be so aggressive until maybe November 1st, maybe October 20th. Who knows? But there's a day that they just hit a switch and it goes. And I don't know what that day is. Okay, so CTA behavior going in. I went through that already. All right, I can't spell behavior there. Sell season is over. What do I mean by that? All right, on a monthly basis, well, I'm using the December contract here, so let's just go with spot. On a monthly basis, there is a seasonality. I've mentioned it before. I've mentioned it many times. It is real, it is valid, and it is forever. You have registered investment advisors, you have banks, you have clearinghouses, you have funds, all flush with money for 2024. They have that money and they have to put it to work. And they put it to work by putting it into their recommendations on what to put it into. You give me $1 million, I'm going to put $500,000 into stocks, $300,000 into bonds, $100,000 into oil, $100,000 into precious metals. That's how it works. That's what to expect. Israel-Hamas war update. I'm going to share with you, I have opinions, I've given them, but I am by no means a geopolitical expert. My geopolitical knowledge comes from trading oil and precious metals for several decades and talking to players who are geopolitical experts. And so I can parrot them. I have original ideas as well, but understand that they're based on my experience. And every event seems to be a new event these days. And it's harder to pull on previous experience. During the Iraqi War, Iraqi War I, Iraqi War II, that was a different world than now. Gold rallies in a Middle Eastern war. Silver lags. We saw that. But silver usually lags more than this, guys. Silver usually behaves a little bit more like copper, at least for the first week. So that's very good, number one. Number two, gold and the dollar rally, right? Safe haven. The dollar usually rallies more than it has in the past. During a crisis, you're a rich Arab dude in the Middle East, you see the bombs coming, you go, you call your broker, you say, fuck it, put half my money into silver, put half my money into gold, and put the other half into dollars. That's what you do, right? This year, the dollar did not go up as much as gold. That's because there's less money going into dollars. This won't be a switch. The death of the dollar Dollar dominance ends with a whimper, not a bang. They're not going to have an announcement. It's just going to happen slowly. And it'll happen every time I'm a guy in the Middle East, or I'm a guy in China, I'm a guy in the BRICS. I have a treasury. I'm not going to sell. Okay, a lot of them are selling treasuries, but I'm not going to sell my treasuries, right? Because they're my safe haven. I'll wait for maturity, right? And every time a coupon comes, I get my dividend. What do I do with that money? It's in dollars. Well, fuck, I don't need all these dollars anymore. I'll put half in gold. I'll put a third into yuan. I'll put a third into rupees. Dollar ownership will drop and gold and silver ownership will rally. That's how it happens. This market will be so much higher over the next 5 years. I know people are always blowing that smoke up your ass. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow's here. It's here. But they're not going to let it go up infinity in a day. They can't do that. You can't have the competition take you out in the headlines. As long as prices broadcast, they will not let gold and silver appreciate to their, as long as, I'm sorry, let me say this in a different way. As long as the dollar is the global reserve currency, treasuries are the global reserve asset, and the US dollar pricing of these commodities is broadcast globally, they cannot afford to have these markets outperform the dollar in times of crisis.
As we conclude this exploration of the gold and silver markets, we hope you've gained valuable insights from Vince Lanci's expert analysis. Stay informed and ahead of the curve as you navigate the world of precious metals. When it comes to the constantly changing financial landscape, knowledge is your greatest asset. Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to sharing more market wisdom with you in the near future. Until next time, happy trading. Nasu, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.